All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our first call of the year. We're doing a weekly review now on Mondays, so we kind of switched the schedule up a little bit. And as Becca was just saying prior to us getting live here on recording, we are really pushing Telegram hard. So when you go to hccc.info, at the very top there, first of all, you can click on that link there and it takes you to the notes, which I'm going to share my screen in a second to go over the notes today, and I will make those so that you can copy them. There we go, duplicate. Okay, cool. And then underneath that, there's links to Telegram. Becca was mentioning that there's two different links. One's for a chat and one's for being notified when we're having a class or what's going on. So super important to get involved in that. It's worldwide and it's just the best system out there. So we're really going to be leaning on Telegram super hard in 2022. Cheryl, we both spent a week in Florida. Now I say that because one of us looks like we did and one of us looks like we didn't.
Yeah, Paul, I don't like your attitude, okay? Because let me tell you something. So I am going to go get this facial that I cannot have any sun on my face at all. And so I said, okay, I'll do whatever I can not to get a tan on my face. So I was wearing a hat and I had like tons of sunscreen on and all this stuff. So then I did that and I was like, well, I think it's very odd that Paul had all these issues and my face looks so weird because look at the sun. Maybe I'll just slide in the sun. How's that? Anyway, but you had all these problems in Florida, yet you still have a tan. So what exactly were you doing?
I took my problems outside is what I did.
Yeah, you did. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't believe you, but all right. I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, it's good to be here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be back. And it was kind of weird not having calls or anything for this first little bit. I was kind of like, I was a little lost. Because my whole schedule is kind of, around the calls that we do and the trainings that we do. So.
Yeah, for sure. But it's so good to take the time off to recharge. Hopefully everybody took the time to we plug in our phones every single night to charge up, but we got to do that to ourselves. So I think, I love this little break that we take every year, like we're a real college and have a winter break and come back. I feel like I'm at 200% right now. So hopefully everyone was able to have that relaxing Christmas and New Year's and ready to kick it in hard right now and go for a run these next 90 days. So Cheryl, I'm going to share my screen and we can go over kind of the schedule with people and then go through some notes that we have for today here. So I'm going to go and share my screen.
I find it amazing that the next 90 days, it just falls into this whole idea of really getting back to learning. I mean, just being sure that we know what we're doing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's really, I'm excited about today's call and about going over these different things so that we can all be sure about what it is that we need to be doing to be our best in 2022.
Absolutely, Cheryl. And we've mentioned so many times in 2021, our saying is you can either live life by default or by design. So if we're going to go into 2022 here, we've got to have a real design laid out for how we're going to live this year, and especially when it comes to our health coaching business. So today's call is called the Blueprint for Your 2022, and we're going to kind of touch on that a little bit here. Hopefully everyone can see the screen and see the schedule here. So I put a little schedule in front of us to notify that we're doing the blueprint today. And then we're doing Elevate Your Mind tomorrow. So the Elevate Your Mind and Elevate Your Leadership is moving to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, Elevate Your Leadership is always on Thursdays, but that is the change for Elevate Your Mind. And then we are going to do another weekly review. So every Monday we'll be doing weekly reviews. Elevate your mind. Then we're going to Orlando, Cheryl, which we'll talk about in one hot second. So there's no classes. We're flying into Orlando that day. We have a 2-day New Year's retreat. We're flying back on the 23rd. The 24th, we're doing another weekly review. And then there's a special Tony Robbins event I'm going to talk to about you in a minute. It's a 5-day event. It's totally free. And I was given permission, he's making it out to the public. But it's part of my training program that I'm going through right now. And I just, we'll talk a little bit about that and why it's so important. We're also having another graduation, Cheryl.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about this one because I've got some special kids in it.
Very cool. Yeah, some personal special kids.
Yes.
Becca, when is the deadline for that? Are we making it that Saturday before or that Monday?
You're muted. There you go.
Yeah. I put it on the announcement and I want to say it was the 22nd.
So
that would be a week before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So they have that to look forward to. We want to make sure we get everyone a little final push here to get, that's basically 2 weeks to get the course done. For anybody that's like on number 6 or 7 or something, that's just got to finish it up. And then we're doing weekly. So then we're back to normal schedule here at the end of January. So Cheryl, let's jump right into the Orlando event, which this is a New Year's retreat. We did one in Virginia. Remember, I had some pictures actually come across my phone of one we did with Doc a couple of years ago in Virginia. And we've done a couple others, one in North Carolina, which is a fantastic event that we did. But talk to us a little bit about this event here, Cheryl, and why you're so excited about it.
Oh, I love New Year's events. And that's so funny, Paul. I don't remember just you and I doing an event, just ourselves, as a kind of a blueprint for the new year. I know we did it with Dr. Wallach a little bit, but I think it was a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And I do remember the North Carolina event, which was really good, but I still think it was different than what we're doing this time. And I'm really excited about this one because this one is, well, first of all, we're going to have Steve and Michelle there, which is going to be so awesome. I love it when they come. I love it when the people who decide to come and get involved with us there in person, they get to spend the time with Steve and Michelle asking questions. And I think this year it's going to be even more intimate. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'm loving this whole idea of really putting a blueprint together for each of us to really hold each other accountable and follow through for the best year ever here at Youngevity, yes, but also in our lives. So I'm super excited about this event. And like I said, I think it's so important to put it together, how you want this year to go. I think it's important to do it in January. And I think it's just as important to have a community that's going to stick by you, hold you accountable, and help you get to where you want to be by the end of the year. So all of that, I'm super excited about all of it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I feel honored to spend time with Steve and Michelle. I talk to Steve just about every day, and we have a great relationship. I've known them, both of them, forever. And Cheryl, you've known them forever today. And but being around them is really special, and I'm not sure if we've ever had an opportunity like this to only have 50 people and get that kind of one-on-one time with Steve and Michelle. Everything we do is at least 200-300 people, if not 3,000 people. So this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity to be on this, to see this facility. I just toured it last year, and it was fantastic. I mean, it's just so great to see how our products are being made. And for those of you that I put a picture here on our blueprint for 2022 of the apple cider vinegar gummies. So they're made in Orlando. And this was really, can't give anything away, but this was really like a door opener for a lot of other things about to come. So if you come to this, you're going to get the inside scoop on future products and hear from Steve directly on why this product is so unbelievable. And, the kind of process that it goes through. When you see how they do it all, you're just gonna be blown away. Like I was like, it became so real to me, and I respect this company even more now because I see how strict they are when it comes to product development. I mean, it is quality, quality, quality. You know, Steve is just, there's no cutting corners with Steve. So it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So if you do all you can to come, we can't emphasize it enough. So we also decided though that a lot of people, they have, you know, children or schedules or craziness going on in their lives, can't make the live event in Orlando. So we're doing a streaming now. So there's $29 to attend the streaming, and you fill out this form, hit submit, and you're given two payment options, either 99 or 29, pick one of those, and enroll today for that, because that is going to be huge. The only part about the streaming that is not going to be streamed is the tour itself. So it's kind of noisy in there because they got all the conveyor belts going and stuff. You can still hear, and Jim's going to be doing the tour and Steve's going to be doing the tour, so you'll be able to hear them. But over video, I'm just worried about it. So I don't think we're gonna do the tour on that, but everything else will be live streamed in the meetings. We're doing an advanced product training on Friday and all day, and then we're doing business training all day Saturday. And so I'll be there. Cheryl will be there. Annalise is going to be there, and Steve, Michelle. So we got a full ticket for this this event, and we're looking forward to everyone to come.
And then on Friday, we're doing the Michelle, Annalise, and I are going to be doing our live again on Friday. We did the last one from New York, and then this time we're going to be doing it from Orlando. So that'll be another exciting thing for you guys to get onto, and it'll be live on Facebook.
And much warmer.
Thank goodness.
New York looked cold. I'm like, oh, you guys are doing it outside. That's kind of nice, but
yeah,
a little chilly. All right. So we're doing a weekly review every Monday. As we mentioned, there's a change. We want you to fill out this review sheet here at HCCC Reviews. On Sunday nights, you can come to this class every single Monday, and we can go over the celebrations you've had, the challenges that you run into, and we're going to help you make changes here every single Monday. So you think about it, if you come in here 52 weeks and bring, you know, celebrations, bring challenges, we can make massive progress, but you got to take that little bit of time to review every single week. So our whole formula here is plan, do, review. So we got a great plan in place. We're going to put that in place today. Do more in Orlando. We're going to do. So we're big on doing. You got to actually do the work here, and then review what's going on, make some little tweaks, keep doing. Elevate Your Mindset is going to be tomorrow. So we're going to start I Can Build. So those of you that are in the Deb Erickson program, if you're not, there's a link there to enroll. Just enter the code Cheryl50 and they'll give you 50% off the membership. But we're going to talk in a minute about, well, let's just talk about it now. So Cheryl mentioned that I've had some difficulties over the past couple of weeks, and Cheryl, I really did, I swear.
I know.
Cheryl thinks I've been outside the whole time.
You have. But that doesn't mean you didn't have a difficulty.
So, I did have a very difficult time. I had a death in the family. My mom had a fall and stuff, and it was craziness going on. But I have been in a great mindset the entire time. And I know last night we talked on the phone, Cheryl, but you told me a story, but I want you to tell it so that I don't say it wrong or anything. So either you were saying something to Angelica, like, oh, I'm worried about Paul or something like that. And then.
Oh yeah, no, she said, Paul's helping Angelica because she's going to graduate. Just so everybody knows, she's going to graduate as a health coach on this Saturday when we have the graduation. And she's very excited about it. And so she asked Paul if he could help her make a website. And so he's like, yes, absolutely. And so she's like, Mom, Paul doesn't have my website done yet. What's he doing? And I go, oh my gosh, he's had some struggles lately. He's had a death in the family and his mom fell twice. And she's really, it's really bad. And Angelica's like, Mom, Paul is like Tony Robbins II. He's totally fine. Can you please tell me when he's going to have my website done? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, hold on, lass. But anyway, I thought it was so funny because, she listens to Paul and that's all she hears now is like Tony Robbins II. So I love that because she's a real Tony Robbins buff too.
Yeah, she'd been listening to all the recordings, and it's about doing the work. So, and actually, I was with another coach today that we're going to tell you about here soon. Her name is Janine, and we were talking about how when something bad happens, people go to counseling afterwards. Oh, this is horrible. But Cheryl and I believe you should go to counseling before something bad happens and really work on, when I mean counseling, I mean coming to these Tuesday mindset classes where we're working on your mindset every single week. It's getting better and better and better and better. And I can honestly say that I can feel the difference over the past couple of years working with Deb Erickson, working with Tony Robbins, how my mindset is just at a new level and at the best level ever.
Well,
and then
I think Paul too, along these same lines, like what I do now, and I've never done this before, but what I do now after, all of the stuff that we've been doing and listening to Tony and listening to Deb, it's like everything, you have the emotions and the feelings that you have because of the meaning you give something. So every time I feel a certain way, I'm like, oh, well, what's the meaning that I gave to that? I automatically now think that. And even if I've given it a meaning that I don't want it to have, it still like reminds me. And then I can just change the meaning and I totally switches everything around.
Yeah, that's a huge lesson that we got in 2021 to be aware of those meanings that we're giving to things.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely fantastic mindset classes we have planned. Again, the I Can Build is what we're starting, but if you aren't part of the program, it's totally fine because we're going to be teaching it every Tuesday here. So if you're not in the program, don't worry about it. But if you want to get in it, we highly suggest it. Then we're doing the Elevate Your Leadership on Thursdays. We're continuing with the 15 laws of growth. We're going to be on law number 8 this Thursday. So those of you that got the book, and if you didn't get the book, you should get the book because it's one of the best books ever. And we're going to be doing law number 8. So as soon as we finish the 15 laws of growth for the rest of the year, pretty much, or a good portion of the year, we're going to be doing the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. So John Maxwell is releasing a new version of it this month. So I'm super excited about that coming out. As soon as it is, we'll post the links. You can get the book and we'll be going through that. And Cheryl, we talked a lot over the holidays and talked about our review of 2021 and the learning lessons we've had. The biggest learning lesson that I came across was the segment we taught on the Navy SEAL boat races.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good, but it makes you look in the mirror and go, yikes. It's all about me. It has nothing to do. Like if your business, so this is the gist of it, and then we can obviously tell you the story, but the gist of it is well, it says it right there. There's no such thing as bad people. There's only bad captains. So if you're not where you want to be with your business, in your business, if you don't have the amount of people following you that you want to be following you, if you're not the influencer you want to be, it's only because of you, because of me, because of us, right? It's because of you. You have to look at it like that. And it's crazy because I'm like, no, I have bad people in my boat. And it's never about the people in your boat. And that's why we love, first of all, I love Navy SEALs, but we love that this story about, Paul, do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, please.
I love this story. Is so fantastic. So you guys know what's it called? Buds. I know it's called Buds, but what's the Hell Week? So they're at Hell Week and you have to, so there's captains, there's 4 captains, 4 boats or 5 boats,
6.
5 captains. And there's people in every single boat. So each of them has a crew. Each captain has a crew. And one guy kept winning. So he kept winning and he kept winning and he kept winning. And so then one of the other captains was like, I'd win too if I had those good people in my boat. And he's like, okay,
he was coming in last every time.
Yeah, he was coming in last every time. And so he goes, fine, what we're going to do now is we're going to switch the captains. So the captain of the winning boat, get out and go over to the losing boat. And so the winning captain went to the losing boat and the losing boat captain went to the winning boat. And he said, okay, go. And they went out, they did their thing. And the losing boat, the boat that had been losing the whole time, that now had the great captain, came in first place and won every time. So it can't be about the people in the boat. It has to be about that captain. And so it was so fascinating. They explained like why and how, and I just loved it, Paul. I thought it was like, it's the best analogy ever. And it's the best way for me to be like, oh, well, I can't really blame anyone else if I'm not where I want to be. It has to do with me. It doesn't have to do with the people in the boat, because sometimes I'll be like, well, so-and-so didn't do what I said. Well, whose fault is that really? Whose fault is that? You know, I mean, that's what the way I'm looking at things now, which I never have before. And it's really eye-opening to me, I guess.
Oh my gosh, I almost fell out of my chair so I'm thinking this through, because I'm going through all my notes and I read this thing up. Like, we taught this thing, but for some reason, it really didn't dawn on me when we're teaching it. It wasn't until I went back and read it again that I'm like, because I always look for how can we build this faster? How can we grow the coaching program? How can we build this longevity company to a multi-billion-dollar company? You know, what's holding us back? So I've got all these ideas, you know, and I read over all the weekly reviews. So whenever you fill out a weekly review, I take a look at it and make notes and see where the patterns are at. And so many people say, I just need better people. Like, what's holding your business back? I just need better people. You know, we hear that a lot. I've said it, Cheryl said it, you know, we've all got to go find better people, you know, and it's not the case at all. So the real problem is me. That's the problem here. You know, and this book is Extreme Ownership. It's a great book to get. And it just talks about when one of your clients doesn't have their health score going up, whose fault is it? It's the coach's fault, of course. If one of your members are not making the type of money that they want, or their business isn't as successful as they want to be, whose fault is that? It's your fault. So we're all responsible as captains to lead our people where they want to go. And I'm just blown away at and we'll go over this in a second, but how many people put, you know, how much money do you want to make per month? $20,000. How bad do you want this? 10, like life or death. And so they're telling all of us that they want this. Everyone here wants this. It's just having that coach with them. And I've been watching this Tom Brady series, Man in the Arena, and he's got 4 coaches around him all the time. He's got one guy that basically lives with him, his strength and conditioning coach and nutrition coach. I mean, this guy's with him 24/7. So even the best in the world have coaches. You know, we all need coaches. We all need, Cheryl and I, we hold each other, you know, we're running together, we're holding each other accountable, and we are making 5 to 10% or 5 to 10 times the progress that we would be making if we didn't have each other, if we were doing this alone. So I can't encourage you enough to get that battle buddy, you know, because you're going to see your business explode when you do that. So it says here, leaders take ordinary people and make them extraordinary by going the extra mile. So I thought another great learning lesson was the John Maxwell lesson on leading yourself. The hardest person to lead in the world is yourself. So you got to be intentional, exceed expectations, and be consistent. So one of the things that I'm working really hard on is going the extra mile for my clients and the people on my team and really helping them. So it's kind of getting into that mindset of going the extra mile and really helping your clients and coaches get to where they want to be. We mentioned the Tony Robbins 5-day event. So you just click here to register in the notes, and it's the ultimate breakthrough. Starts in 14 days and 22 hours. And all you got to do is enroll. It's completely free. So that link is there to do that. And so Cheryl, building your business is 20% strategy and 80% mindset. So let's dive into that and talk strategy real fast, and then talk mindset as we wrap up this call here today. So John Maxwell states that the secret to your success is in your daily agenda. So it's literally what you're doing day in and day out that makes the difference between winning and losing here, being successful, not being successful.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 29:18, where it says, where there's no vision, the people perish. There has to be a vision. And Cheryl, I know you signed up a new coach just last night and shared with them the vision, went over the power of it's one sheet of paper. And how powerful that was of a conversation and what the impact it had on him.
Yeah, it was so amazing because he was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the difference one person can make. Because he was looking at the power of one, and it's so, so true. So one person can make, set up in the right way and with you doing the right things, but you just have to find that one person, right? The one person that can make the difference. And I love it, Paul, when we always talk about most people who are in the $1 million a year club, most of them, if not all, will tell you that there's 4 to 5 people that make them all their money. And I do find that amazing. But you guys, that's like, to me, that's hope. That's like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Because all I have to do is find 4 or 5 great people. Yes, you're going to need to have a few more, because 9 is is the way that we set it up. But with those 4 or 5, they're the ones who really, make a difference for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's going through people and meeting them, and then to find, they don't just appear out of nowhere to find your 4 aces, but you got to go through numerous people to find the ones you're really looking for. So there's no shortcuts here. People all the time tell Cheryl and myself that this is too hard. And I always want to ask them, compared to what?
Yeah.
Because I'm super great friends with Jonathan, and Cheryl's married to him, so she knows him really well. How I asked Cheryl, yesterday, how many clients has Jonathan not followed up with? I mean, he's calling them twice a day. I mean, we got to look at this as if we're lawyers.
To be honest, it's not even called follow-up. It's not even called that. It's like, it's just a given. There's not even a word for it. It's like, because there doesn't need to be a word for it, because it would never not happen, right? We call it follow-up. So we give it this name so that we can remember what it is we're supposed to do. But for lawyers especially, there's no name for it. Because I asked Jonathan, I said, well, do you follow up? And he's like, follow up. And I said, like, call a person back if they call you. He's like, yeah, I don't think it's called follow up. Like, it's just natural. It's what we do. So there's not even a name for it if you're a lawyer. But for us, we're giving it a name. And I think sometimes, I don't know if that's good or bad, Paul, because honestly, I think people go, follow up. Oh, I used to do it all the time. Oh, no. Oh, that makes me so nervous. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know what to say.
We're glad you gave it a new meaning, Cheryl.
I know, right? So I do have a new meaning. It doesn't even have a name. It's just who I am, right? It's just, I just do it. I just
absolutely.
Yeah.
But getting back to the weekly review forms that Cheryl and I read every single week, again, people put, I want to make 10,000, 20,000 a month. And they want it at a level 10. Now, how bad do you want this? Level 10. And then when the first question is, well, how many people did you add to your list this week? And they put 1 down. Now, Cheryl, is that a 10?
No, it's a 1.
It's a 1. Yeah. I mean,
how bad do you want it? You want it at 1 because you only put 1 person down, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not even going to get you part of the way there.
No.
And Paul, I do want to say this too, especially starting out. If you're brand new and you don't even have a list yet, then you need to put way more than 2 people on your list every day. Let's start out with 10 people on your list every day if you want this at a level 10. If you don't, then that's okay. But you can't, but I think what I get frustrated about sometimes, and I get frustrated because I want to help people so bad, is they put, well, I want this at a level 10, but I really can't find anyone, or I only found 1 person. I'm like, no, listen, you have got to, if you want this at a level 10, then you have to work at it at a level 10. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah. I mean, this is a people business. If you don't like people, you should not be in this business. Okay, you should just quit right now because it is all about the people, you know. And when people tell us that I have a tough time, I can't find anybody, Cheryl and I are like, what? Like it's again, it's just who you become. You know, it's a mindset that I am going to be a people person. I'm going to meet every single person. I mean, the best example is in the whole company is Tracy Wagstaff. I mean, she's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, she becomes best friends with people in a room in like 2 seconds because she's just so interested in going to talk with them and learning about them and stuff, and miraculously pulls their phone number and has a meeting at Starbucks with them tomorrow morning. You know, she can book 27 meetings in an hour.
Yeah, but I think the thing about her too, Paul, is, and you and I were talking about this earlier, is she might have only met and knows 10 people, but 10 people are sending her 10 people each. So now
Yeah.
she has 100 people.
Yeah.
So she never has to go out and look for another person. She just has people sending her people.
Yeah. She's taken such good care of them, and they love her so much that they just tell everyone they know about her. So
Right.
she doesn't even need any leads anymore because she can't handle all the referrals she's getting.
Right.
And it's just about, you know, being a great coach is the whole key to it. So, and I have it. So it says use the Notion contact manager template here. So if you click on that, if you haven't done this yet, you just go over to share and hit, well, there'll be a button here. It says duplicate. And this is my prospect list. So it's simple. I just literally go here today and type in Amy Brown. You know, I met her today and I met Joe Smith. And it's literally that simple. I mean, I added 2 names to my list. Now it gives you the total number up here, and then you can click on each one of these and fill in more details. Like we brought all kinds of, you know, their email, their phone, health scores, you know, so we put a whole bunch of different data in here so you can keep track of people and where you met them and how you met them. And you can, there's a whole section down here for notes that you can make notes on the people and when you talk to them and stuff. So I love this program. It's become my whole life's in Notion now. So it's you just got to be good at adding people to the list and then moving them along. So I want to take Joe. I want to make an initial contact. Hey, Joe, thanks for accepting my friend request. I mean, it can be something as simple as that on social media. Whether it's online or offline, it doesn't matter. You just got to build this lineup here. When you're thinking about 2 a day, it doesn't sound too difficult. It's pretty easy, actually. 2 names, that's no big deal. But you carry that over a year when you have 700 names on this list in 1 year. You do that 2-3 years in a row. That's how people become millionaires. It's just keep on adding names to it and moving them along. Now, are some people going to get stuck here and never take the health evaluation or miss their follow-up appointment or not want to join? Absolutely. But you don't need 700 new people. You just need 1 a week. You know, that's the power of 1, is getting 1 new member a week every week in 2022. And I really honestly feel, even if you're part-time, that's completely doable. You know, if you did 5 health evaluations this week, and if you're just new and you're not that good at closing or explaining this, and you only get 1 out of 5, it's still 1 a week. You know, when you get better, you know, there's Becca and Caroline and myself and Cheryl and a whole bunch of other great coaches here. We go 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. You know, as you get better as a coach, but the only way to get better is to do it. But even if you're just starting out, you'll always get 1 out of 5. And that alone will get you 1 a week, get you 52 new people, which is enough to find your 4 aces. You know, but you just got to be diligent on adding these names and getting this whole process started. Did I lose my page when I did that? Yeah, okay. So next thing is share. So we got to share something. Once you got names on a list, now what? What the heck am I going to do with these people? So you got to share something. So we got a whole bunch of things to share. And this is, we're going to be talking about the 21 laws of leadership here coming up. And law number 8 is the 21 laws of leadership is the law of intuition, where it says true leaders know how to read and react to any situation. So it's talking to somebody and reading what's going on. What kind of problems are they having? How can I help this person? How can I add value to this person? So we have the Dead Doctors Don't Lie recording, which I've been using for 25 years. Cheryl's been using for 25 years. It is the best recording of all time. Actually, if you added up all the recordings of all time and compared it to Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Dead Doctors Don't Lie still wins. So it's the greatest recording by far. We also have a 30-minute. Now, if I go up to someone and I always love to edify Dr. Wallach, I just go off for like 5 minutes about how amazing this guy is. He made this unbelievable recording. I have it online. If I sent you a link to it, would you listen to it? And by the time I get to that point, I built this thing up to the moon. And in 25 years, I've never had someone say, no, if you send me a link, I wouldn't listen to it. So it's just doing a great job at edifying the recording. And, you know, and I think in our minds that we think it's too long or people won't be interested in it. But I've been sharing it like crazy recently, and people listening to it 2 or 3 times. It's more relevant now, I think, when he made it 25 years ago. So it's just fantastic information. And Cheryl and I keep amazing stats. We keep stats on everything. And the people that listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie, having them fill out the health evaluation becomes super simple. Having them enroll or buy something becomes extremely simple. Keeping them on products, keeping your retention rate up skyrockets when people listen to that recording. I mean, just imagine if you never heard that recording. I mean, you wouldn't really know what any of this is about. Why should I do this? And people do things because they have a reason to do it. And that whole recording is 1 hour of reasons why you should take the 90 essential nutrients. But if someone ever did say to me, oh no, I don't got no hour to listen to no recording like that. I'm like, well, you got 30 minutes? Because there's a 30-minute interview that, man, I just love it. It is just fantastic. You interview Dr. Wallach and he explains everything. So that's a door opener. Maybe they listen to that and then they're going to want to listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie afterwards. There's a health evaluation. A lot of people love leading with the health evaluation. So if that's something you've been successful with, awesome, keep doing it. So it's reading and reacting. What should I give this person first? Now, I love this link that we've created here on our 90 for Life info site, which has everything on one page. So here's the recording, here's the evaluation, and here's the documentary. So you can say, well, take the evaluation first. And when you're done and waiting for us to meet again to go over the results, listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie and watch the documentary. Now, some people may not, but it's all on one page. So to send them this page is I think a no-brainer. And what order they do them in, I've had so many people lead with this first, or lead with this first, or lead with this first, and they're all signing people up. So you can't say that there's one way that you have to do it. I believe that this is the order it should go, but that's all my research and how I run my business. But I think eventually they need to do all 3. If you want to have a great client, they got to do all 3 of these things eventually. And what they do and what order is completely up to you. So once we share the recording or share the health evaluation, we got to follow up with them. What'd you like best about it? You got to go over the health results with them. You got to help them place their first order and get them on auto ship. And then we got to coach them, to get their health score over 90. We want to get everyone's health score over 90 here. So one of the great things that I did during Date with Destiny is Tony talked about this concept of having roles in your life. And when you have a role, like we're a mom or a dad or a coach or leader, whatever role you have, we all have multiple roles that we play in life. It's asking yourself, what would I want that person to say about me? So when I thought about my clients, like what would I want my client to say behind my back? So this is what I came up with. I wrote this during Date with Destiny. Paul is absolutely incredible. When I met Paul, my health score was a 27 and I was 45 pounds overweight. Paul helped me every step of the way to turning my health around. Today, my health score is a 93 and I've lost 45 pounds. I could have never done this without Paul's consistent coaching. So I have it in my mind right now. That's what every single one of my clients is going to say about me. So I have a great mindset going into this, how I'm going to do this. And when you think about that, what they're saying about you, it just changes your actions. And as Cheryl mentioned, what does that lead to? It leads to gazillion referrals because this person is so touched by what I've done for them that they just want to send people to me. And that's how business works in this country. It's all based on referrals. So you got to, in the beginning, get new clients in, yes, but if you do this right and have people say something about like this about you, you're going to have more referrals than you can handle. And this person's not going to quit. They're not going to go off of auto ship. They're going to continue to take the products. You know, and they may go on to be a health coach. You know, so it's all about being a great coach here in step number 5. Inviting them to learn more about the health coach certification course. So we got a brand new website out there. Cheryl and I are going to do more Zooms and Facebook Lives on the coaching program. So you can invite people to hear from Cheryl and myself why this coaching program is so unbelievable, especially at this time in history. I mean, never before has health been more important than right now. Never. So everyone in the world is thinking about their health. So we want to, it's the best career in the world is to be a health coach right now. I mean, there's literally nothing better you could be in the world than a health coach at this moment. Then we want to enroll them into the coaching program and lead them. So now we're going to not just get them in the coaching program, but hey, did you finish the program? Hey, let's start making your list. Let's, you know, you help them every step of the way to getting to 1 star and above. So you can look at this and say, that's hard. I can do all that. Or you can look at each one individually and say, and this is ridiculously simple. Either way, you're right. You know, I used to look at things in life. My view of life is hard. You know, but I started looking at these things. I'm like, there's nothing hard about these things at all. It's ridiculously simple. But you got to do it. You know, when things are too simple, we tend to not do it. So, Cheryl, I know we're big on having, you know, a battle buddy. Usually it's your captain, you know, your enroller. So there's some great stats that those who say they'll accomplish something do so 6% of the time. So if you just come out in January 10th, and you're like, oh, this is how my year is going to go, you got a 6% chance of that happening. But if you write it down, it jumps to 33%. Just instead of just saying it, you write it down. Huge improvement. When you write it down and tell someone, it goes to 59%. But if you write it down, tell someone and ask them to hold you accountable, that figure jumps to 91% success rate. So Cheryl and I encourage all of you to go to your coach today and say, will you hold me accountable in 2022? And I think that's the most important word we can come up with this year is accountability, because that's what makes the biggest difference in people who are not succeeding and people who are succeeding. So Cheryl, 80% of this is mindset. So we talked about the Angelica story and staying in the yes zone. And I know you've done a lot of work on yourself and staying in this yes zone. So maybe talk to us a little bit about that. Staying in the green.
Yeah, stay in it. That's it.
Yeah, you just got to be aware, you know, and if you need to worm, you worm. And there's Becca with her yes sign up there.
Yeah. That's
so,
really
you know,
all it is.
yeah.
And I think you're right, becoming aware and just realizing that you're not in the yes zone and then quickly getting out of it if you're not in it and getting back into the yes zone. I think that's what it's about.
Absolutely. So once you're in the yes zone, it's having, again, whether this is hard or simple, you got to pick which one it is in your brain. And if you want to lose weight and look your best, you must take the 9 essential nutrients, take your add-on products. Now, the apple cider vinegar gummies are phenomenal for weight loss. But if you just took 2 of those gummies a day, would you lose weight? No. You got to do the rest of the stuff too. So there's other companies out there that just promote apple cider vinegar gummies as the ultimate weight loss tool. Take 2 of these a day and you're going to look amazing. They don't mention you got to do the other 5 things. But you got to be strict keto. You got to drink your water, exercise, and do intermittent fasting. I mean, all these things are essential for losing weight. This isn't just our opinion. These are proven facts with these 6 things. So some people can say this is hard. And Cheryl, I know we talk a lot about picking your hard.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you can pick your hard. You can either say taking your nutrients are hard, eating strict keto is hard, or you can say looking in the mirror at yourself, overweight, being overweight, or just the way you feel. You can't tell me that people who are overweight feel well. They just don't. I mean, they might think they do, but that might be because they haven't experienced how good you can feel without that extra weight, is what my brother told me. And he's lost 100 pounds. So, right. So that's something that's very important. Also, being sick is hard. Yeah, it is. I think being sick, I think people who are in pain and sick, I think it's very hard for them. It's very hard to live your life the way you want it. And so I think it's really important to pick your hard. Also, dying early, that's hard. Or having someone you love die early, that's hard. Yeah, living your last 10 years in misery. Yeah, it's so interesting. I was talking to this new guy that's going to go through the health coaching program, and he was saying that, he says, I can't believe that we can live to be so old, but it's not just living to be older, it's living a great life as you get older. And I said, absolutely, it's such a difference. And
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I think it's really different. So you have to pick your heart.
Yeah, I think the average lifespan now is 74, or whatever the number is today. But the average healthy years, which is another number, is 10 years less than that. So literally the average person lives 10 years in misery with all kinds of aches and pains and problems with their health. And that's just not how I want to spend the last 10 years of my life.
No.
So is taking these supplements hard or following this program hard? Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it is. But either way, you got to pick your hard. If you do think it's hard, all these other things that Cheryl mentioned are hard too. But I think losing weight is easy. I think building this business is even easier. But they both require work ethic. And that's the thing that Cheryl and I have that separates us from everyone else. I mean, there's no one that's going to outwork Cheryl and myself. Cheryl started out on 5 years on the road with Dr. Wallach. I mean, massive work ethic. I was sending out 1,000 Dead Doctors Online tapes a week. And we continue that through the years. We just have the attitude, no one's going to outwork us. And when you have that kind of attitude, you can make anything happen. So just wrapping up, Cheryl, there's 3 things you want to focus on here in 2022. Talk about this all the time, raising your standards. I mean, it's just, there's certain, whatever your paycheck is now, and I actually have a quote here. I want to throw in this thing here. I don't have it handy. Okay. But whatever your income is now, it's because of the standard you set. That's what I'm worth. That's where I'm at. If you don't like that place, you can raise your standards. And we talk about moving up the ranks so you can have more freedom. So by having 9 legs and being a 5-star, even if a couple don't work out this month or something bad happens, you still got 7 that are fantastic. So if you just have 3 though, and 1 or 2 goes away, you're in big trouble. So the width is always, is super important to not just have 3 or 4, but to have 9. I mean, there's a reason why Steve picked 9, and that's safety and freedom. Another thing is changing your values and influencing other people to change theirs. A lot of people say their health is their number 1 value, but is it really? Do they act that way? So all of us here, what we have in common is we all value health number 1. Why do you take your supplements every day? So we have the knowledge. We listen to Dead Doctors Online. We've listened to Dr. Wallach. We've taken the health coaching course. So we know how important this is. We've made health our number 1 value, and we have discipline. Cheryl and I take our supplements every single day. How often do you miss your supplement, Cheryl?
I don't.
Never. So, but there's some discipline involved in that. Now it's just become a muscle. It's building a muscle up. You're not used to doing something. Well, now it's just a muscle for Cheryl. She just does it every single day. Cheryl and I value freedom. It's how important is freedom to you, Cheryl?
It's important. It's at the same level as health.
Yeah, she has them at a time. And then there's growth, valuing contribution, helping other people. And then Cheryl, we can't talk enough about community and the
Yeah.
value of this community that we've created here at the IWH.
Yeah, community, I think is, I don't know, it's 1,000 times easier to do it with a community and to know that you're not the only one going through things and doing things. And then I think that when you are successful, it's so much more fun with the community backing you and helping you and supporting you. So I think all of it has to do with community. And I think that it's even bigger now because we may not have the communities that we used to have a year ago or 2 years ago. Right. And so a lot more communities are online now. And that's kind of what we are in social media and online and together in this way. But I think the importance of it is more than it's ever been.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Cheryl, last but not least, our last tip of the day here is to create some structure in your day and your week. People that have more structure are more successful. So, there's another book out called Discipline Equals Freedom, which sounds weird. Like, how could discipline equal freedom? They're opposites. They're not. If you're disciplined and you have these blocks, you're going to have massive freedom. Without the discipline, you don't have the freedom. You'll never have the freedom. So Cheryl, I know you're big on planning. You're like, Cheryl's got a planner out. She's like, hey, I want to plan here. So it's developing these time blocks in your day. And I know, Cheryl, you've gotten really good at, like, this is the time that I'm going to play tennis or work out or do my cold plunge or spend time with my kids. And this is the personal growth time I have and time to work on the notes and teach.
Yep. I love it too. And I think if you do it in time blocks, and I'm talking a lot to the moms because it is hard when you're a mom to, work for 8 hours at one time. But if you can do it for 15 minutes or, whatever, and it's made a huge difference for me because I understand that once somebody takes that health evaluation, I know that I have to meet with them. So that has to be part of my time block the next day, right? Or whenever we've set up the time to meet. And so I just think it's so important to have those time blocks already in, or you can say, you know what, I have from, like, I know for sure that I have from, let's just say 10 to 10:30 every day that I can put things in there to work my business. And then I have from 1 to 3. And then at 3, we do the teaching and training. And then at 4 to 5, I can do this or whatever. So just to know when you can, when you have the time available to put things in there, I think will make a huge difference for you in this coming year.
Absolutely. And that's made all the difference in the world. So again, as John Maxwell stated, the secret to your success is in your daily agenda. So you just got to get super structured in your daily agenda and you're going to see your success take off like a rocket ship. I mean, literally, you want to add 2 names to your list, you got to get that in your agenda someplace. When are you going to do that? And it can't be like, well, when I get to it, because that ain't going to happen then. I don't say I'll exercise when I get to it. I'll exercise at 5 a.m. That's when I'm going to exercise. Because if I push it off too much, I won't get done.
Right. So
get those important things done early. So you got some homework to do as we close up this call here. You have to, all these notes are at hccc.info. So you can see all the calendar here. Make sure you registered for the Orlando event, whether it's the live or the live streaming. Be sure to do that today. If you haven't filled your weekly review yet, please do that. If you are in Deb Erickson's course, you can prepare for tomorrow's class by starting I Can Build. There's only 5 lessons in that one. So we're doing lesson 1 tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing law number 8. So if you can read that chapter before Thursday, register for this Tony Robbins event. Super important to get your name in on that. And then just go through these notes and be, kind of absorb them and plan, really lay out that blueprint of how your 2022 is going to go and where you want to be at the end of the year. And you'll do it. Cheryl and I are 1,000% committed to helping you achieve whatever your goal is. So you tell us what your goal is, and we're going to be here and work our butts off to make sure that you achieve that. Cheryl, you have any final words you want to give?
No, but just make sure that you do that. Make sure that you, do all the things that Paul just mentioned. We're looking forward to helping you and to supporting you in 2022, but we just need to know what it is you want to do and what your goals are so that, just like Paul said, we will be able to support you And here's really, I think what it is, Paul, is you have to be clear on what your goals are and what your vision is for 2022, what your blueprint is. And as long as you're clear on it, you'll be able to show us what it is that your goals are and what it is you want to accomplish. And then we will, it'll be 1,000 times easier for us to support you in that. But you have to know what it is more importantly than us knowing what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Awesome. Hope this was beneficial, everybody. And you kind of got a better view of how this year is going to roll. And we try to give you as many tips as possible here in the last hour on making 2022 the best year ever for you and your business. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, for Elevate Your Mindset. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Was there any questions in the chat, Becca, that we maybe missed or something? If we can answer some questions if we have a minute or two.
Actually,
Here.
yes, Jill had a question in regards to the book that you mentioned. Was it Discipline Equals Freedom? What was the name of that book?
Yes.
Yeah, Discipline Equals Freedom and Extreme Leadership. They're both, they should both be on Kindle, Audible.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Okay.
And so one more thing. So for those of you who did not see the notes in the chat, you can find the notes at hccc.info, and you will see the notes from all of our previous Zooms and also today's.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.